Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to another episode of the Smart Flip with me and Matt. Glad to have you guys listening. I know a lot of you guys are listening while you're in your car picking up deals, and we love you for that. Make sure to check out our price sheet so you know what to pay for those devices. Um, Guys, we're gonna kind of jump into this one today pretty quick, but I do want to point out some of the things that we got for you guys. Number one, we have the guide to flipping phones and electronics. You can get that in our free Facebook group with 15,000 other phone flippers and resellers. Um, and then we also have our Tech Flips to Profit ebook. You can grab the audio version on episode 11 of the podcast. We are also on Spotify and Apple podcasts now. So you can check those out as well. It's called the Smart Flip. You type it in. We're like the only one because we're the biggest phone flipping podcast in the world. If you want the PDF version and a couple of bonuses that go with that, you can buy the ebook in the description below on all platforms for $4.95. I recommend also grabbing some of the upsells. They're really good to help you guys get started in the business, and it'll give you more than enough information to grow your business. With that being said, guys, I am in a mood today. I'm not sure why. I'm on 75 hard right now. I'm on a steak and eggs diet. I've lost 12 pounds in the last 9 days. I don't know what's going on, but my ability to just put up with regular stuff is at a minimum. I'm not sure why, but I'm incredibly focused. So we're gonna jump in today. Um, what we're gonna be talking about today, we don't have a guest, so we're gonna be talking about something that I've wanted to talk about for a while, and I kind of beat it into my students over and over, and Matt knows this. But we're gonna talk about number one, the rise of Google Ads in the industry and how that's going to be changing things over the next couple of years. And then how you need to be looking at your side hustle a little differently. Um, the days of the side hustle, phone flipping, back alley type of transaction stuff is it's going away. People are starting. I mean, and this could be due to us. I'm not totally sure, but we don't teach people how to buy iCloud locked phones and drop them in Faraday bags. So like we want to teach legitimized business models here, showing people how to flip phones and electronics effectively, ethically, and where they make profit. So with that being said, let's jump into it. Um,
Let's do
Google
it.
Ads. Sorry, I went a little hot there. um, but um, Google Ads, guys. I'm gonna keep beating this over and over again on this podcast and on. Oh, by the way, we have the phone flipping show now on Tuesdays at
Yo,
3
yo.
p.m. Central Standard Time every Tuesday for the next year. We're gonna be
Hmm.
testing that out. It's a year-long test for us, so definitely check that out as well. Um, with that being said, guys, I'm seeing a massive shift in the industry right now. Big shift. Um, Google Ads and Google My Business and being a legitimate business owner in this space is becoming a real thing. And if you're not getting on that train, you will get left behind. Facebook ads are going up in cost. We're getting less reach for the dollars that we spend. And I brought Google Ads to the industry about 2.5 years ago. I was the first dude, so don't let anybody tell you differently. It took forever. It took like 3.5 years to actually get it to actually like work. I worked with David Kosciuszko on it when I was working with him, and it was it, I got many banned accounts to. I got the dead bodies of the accounts to show the proof.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
um,
I was there to witness this process, guys. I don't think a lot of people can say that they were there firsthand, but I remember you initially messaging me about it. I remember you back testing the strat and then kind of DMing me about some of the results you were getting, and then it being refined, and then it becoming a workable strategy, and then it actually becoming something that was so convincing that it was something you could teach to other people. And so I guess I witnessed the process of this from start to implementation.
yeah, I mean, a lot of things like that they take a lot of testing, right? Like I had to buy multiple different programs and things on that. Like I bought a real estate course on Google Ads to kind of figure out how I could, you know, backpedal it and use it for
Hmm.
flipping phones and electronics.
Yeah.
And I remember one day I was doing the Google ads and I was like, dude, I wonder if I can just like target Eco ATM. Like, I wonder if that's possible because they Google gives you the option to put in a website to grab keywords from. That's the beauty of Google too, is they have so much data, which is also kind of creepy at the same time.
Yeah,
Um, they have so much data to pull from. Like they can show you what people have been searching within the last 30 days based on certain keywords. Kind of wild,
that
actually.
is wild,
Like there could be 50,000 searches for sell my phone, right? Like
dude.
that's wild. Um, but the real power of Google is it's behavior based marketing, and behavior based marketing is like, we all go to Google for searching up a restaurant that we want to eat at. Everybody uses Google. Let's be real. Like
Yeah.
Siri runs off of Google. Almost everything runs off of Google as a search engine. Oh, Siri turned on. um, and the other day, also this could be changing things as well. Um, Somebody used Chat GPT search function to find my business. They literally typed in, "Where can I sell my phone in League City?"
Hmm.
Guess who came up number one?
Hey,
So that showed me almost immediately this is where this industry is headed. Like the rise of AI search is headed this way. Like AI search isn't even really like a thing yet for most people. And for those of you that are still running these like back alley transactional side hustle type of businesses, you guys are going to get left behind. Like let's be real. Like there's going to be big guys that come up out of this. Like they started with Facebook ads. They got their Google My Business. They got the Google ads. They got the repeat customers. You guys that are still just kind of willy nilly and side hustling this thing, you will get left behind. Now, if your goal is just have a side hustle, that's cool. I don't care,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like that's totally cool. We like to work with people that want real businesses, and they want to. We just had a student, Isaac. He sent me a photo of a Porsche he bought. It's an older Porsche, but it's a Porsche.
Right. That's a valid point. I don't know how many resellers out there running around and they were like, "Oh, it's an older Porsche." Okay, well, do you drive an older Camry? I don't know. Um, yeah, it's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Pretty
So,
cool.
and he has a legitimate business, right? Like he sent me the photo and he's like, phone money, baby, And I was like, that's right. He's 22 years old.
Crazy,
Guys, like
man.
this is one of the easiest businesses to number one start, get legitimized in and run because number one, you get paid in two ways. You get paid number one with skill sets. Like, let's be real, this business shows you number one how to market, how to make offers, how to negotiate, how to sell stuff online, how to talk to people, how to build repeat customers. Like there's that is in every single business model there is, right?
Yep,
So I just want to point out like the rise of Google is going to be big for your business moving forward. Um, Facebook still works to a point. You just got to get really good at negotiation. I'm just going to throw that out there.
yep.
Also, you just have to get a lot of leads. And I'm just going to say it point blank. Our dollars are not going as far on Facebook as they used to. My first $10,000 month profit was on Facebook alone. I was also paying $5 and hitting 1,500 people. 1,500 eyeballs saw my ad. Now you spend $5 and you hit 250.
Wow.
It's a big difference, right? So the platforms as they age up, they just get more expensive.
Yeah.
But with Google, it's a little bit different. Google has been around for 20 plus years at this point. And it's a search function. And if you can become number one in your area, which does take work, I have to
Hmm.
throw that out there. Like it does take work um, to make that happen. Another thing I want to point out is I was talking with one of our students yesterday, and he works with Techie, which is a pretty large electronics buyback company. Um, Matt, you know what they were doing?
What were they doing?
They were doing reach outs.
Nice.
They were DMing people on Facebook Marketplace to the tune of a couple hundred a day
Whoa.
and making offers. So this just goes to show these big companies a lot of times are doing the same things that we are, but a lot of the times they don't. A lot of the times they pay garbage prices, like really garbage. I mean, I was just looking up the Quest 3 on a website the other day, and they were offering $150 for it.
Hmm.
Imagine buying a Quest 3 for $150, Matt. That's a quick $200 in profit.
Yeah. I that's exorbitant. That is wow. Okay.
Matt, are there anything? I mean, we've been working together for 2+ years now. Is there anything that you've seen that kind of sets that like the real business owner type of phone flipper apart from the side hustler? Because we both lived that life. So
Sure. I think I said this to my students on a console call. We were talking about flipping consoles this past Tuesday. And I said, be a pro. I said, think about if you want your reselling business to advance, think about the difference between a pro athlete and an amateur athlete and what a pro would do to condition themselves to the game, which then becomes a business, versus somebody who's just maybe trying to make it or hoping to, score some points in a few buckets. And then I had a follow-up conversation with a student yesterday, and he said that was all I needed to really like grab a scope and go, oh, I really need to step up this, this, and this. And to that degree, I would say the same thing to everybody listening to this is if you are a side hustle and you want to push this to the next level, be a pro. What would that look like? Well, this is my response to Chris's question. I would say you have to start thinking about your business as a business. Like you can't think about it just as like side hustle. I'll pick up a few dollars there. And then if you want to stay in side hustle kingdom, that's fine. Like I started there. Chris started there. Like we are not shaming that at all and don't want anybody to like, feel that if you're making a couple, 500, couple $1,000s a month and that's, supplemental income, fantastic. But if you want to push this to the next level, then I would say treat your business like a business. That means several things. One, you can't manage what you don't measure. Like if you're not tracking data, if you're not keeping up with input and output, and that we could do a whole podcast just about that.
yeah,
Um, just about key performance indicators, KPIs. What did you buy? When did it sell? How much did you buy it for? How much did you sell it for? Where did it sell? How long was it listed for? Like those are things that give you the reaffirming data to know, okay, this is what it looks like when I have this product in hand. This is how much money I made this past week or this past month, or and then I would say like there's also the intangibles, like um, realizing that if you want to be a pro at this, that you got to treat this like a job. You got to wake up at an ideal time to get stuff listed. If you're buying stuff and not getting it listed, that's amateur stuff right there. Like, be a pro, list your stuff. But if people would keep track of their items, if they would list their stuff, and if they would have more conversations to get more inventory, bro, those three things right there, I would say would be the biggest one, two, and three factors that would dramatically change anybody and take them from amateur status to business level. Like it would push you into pro status if you just simply started doing those three things.
and Hormozy talks a lot about this. If you don't track, you don't care, right?
Yeah.
And something I started implementing here recently, and it has actually dramatically changed my business here lately, especially with like phone calls and Google ads and things like that. And I'm going to implement it on Facebook here soon to see if I get similar results, and I'm sure I will. Um, is contacting the lead in less than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So, so for example, there have been days where I've gotten a Google lead and I didn't contact them for like 20 minutes, and I've lost the deal. Like being real, like because they went and they found somewhere else, right? A good example, I just sold an iPad that I bought the other day. This guy he filled out the form on my website, our buyback website. I called him literally 1 minute after, and he was like, "Whoa!" And I'm like, "Hey, it's Chris from Bell Electronics." He's
Wow.
like, "Oh, hey, dude, I didn't think anybody was actually gonna call me." And I was like, "He's like, that right there set a massive expectation,
Yeah.
right?
Mm.
And then I proceeded to offer him $400 for his iPad Pro, his Wi-Fi only, and he's like, I'm gonna look around a little bit more, but since you got back with me so quick, I'll let you know. And
Yep.
I was like, all right, cool, dude, no problem. Anyway, I followed up with him about 3 hours later. I was like, hey man, did you sell the iPad? And he's like, yeah, I got somebody that's looking to buy it for 660. I'm like, all right, no problem, dude. If it falls through, just let me know. I'll buy it the same day. And he messaged me a little bit later, and he's like,
Yep.
hey, they never showed up. And I was
No,
like, well, I can buy it today, and I guarantee you that I'll show up.
yeah.
And he's like, it's
And
yours, man. And but see what I mean? Like that quick response
yeah.
was massive, right? Um, and I know that can be hard for some people,
Yeah.
but you want to get to the point where you can do it. Now, I will say this took me years to understand. And this is a massive paradigm shift for me, contacting the lead almost as soon as they fill out the thing. And it can be difficult because obviously I have children, I have stuff that I'm doing. But one thing that I did a while back was I actually did a time audit on myself. I actually, like, I went through one of my conversations on Resale Deck and I added up how many minutes it took to close that lead. And it was 44 minutes through messaging. 44. Like from beginning of conversation until end of conversation. Now, it wasn't all the time now. Like messaging back and forth, it was maybe, 5, 6 minutes added up totally that I spent typing. But
Yeah.
the fact that of the matter was like it took me a 45-minute time frame to close the lead
Mm.
because they were messaging me going do something else, messaging me going do something else, and I was doing the same. It takes me 3 to 4 minutes to close somebody on a phone call. 3 to 4 minutes,
Yep.
crazy. Like that whole conversation that happened in that 45-minute time frame could have happened on a 3 minute phone call.
Yeah. It's true.
Like, and this could just be because I'm getting older. I know everybody like in the back in the day, I preferred messaging. I felt like it was a time saver. I thought that. What I've actually found out is that's a complete lie. Like I'm actually going back to the David K type of thing where you just call the person.
Yeah. It makes sense.
It also I've noticed it has a bigger rapport type of thing. I don't know if you call your leads a whole lot. I know you do reach outs, but um do you call your guys at all to kind of just confirm the deal sometimes?
Sometimes it honestly depends. Like I picked up a Sega Genesis that was really great bundle, probably about 2, 3 weeks ago, and me and that gentleman talked on the phone. I actually closed that deal through Craigslist, believe it or not.
Nice.
But yeah, I sent him my phone number because I emailed him, and then he called me and we had a quick chat about it, and I was in the car going to pick up the item within like 15 minutes.
So I'm going to give you guys a massive tip right here. If you are struggling with your closing rate, call your leads instead because this will help you in two ways. Number one, you will get massively better at negotiating with your voice. Okay. That helps you, number one, in person. It helps you actually through text and things like that too, because you'll say something one time and it'll work and you'll get that feedback of it working is instantaneous. It happens immediately. You don't have to wait for somebody to send back a message to see if it actually works. Like, also the tonality
Hmm.
on, like, you know what? Actually, I want to actually give an example of this. Matt, do you want to be like a customer real quick?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, cool. So, give me a ring ring.
Ring, ring, ring.
Hello, this is Chris with Bell Electronics. How can I help you?
Hey, yeah, I've got a iPhone 13 Pro and 13 Pro Max, and I was just looking to sell it.
Nice, 13 Pro Max. You said
Yeah.
awesome. Any issues with it, dude?
No, it is carrier locked to T-Mobile, but I don't know. I guess something could be done about that. I don't really know.
No, is it paid off through T-Mobile?
Yeah, it's paid off.
Okay, cool, dude. So what I could do if you can get it unlocked, I'll give you the unlocked price here real quick. By the way, dude, are you having a good day so far?
Yeah,
While I'm
I
looking at
mean,
my pricings and stuff.
yeah, kind of cold, but not too bad. Making it.
Yeah, it's pretty cold outside
Yeah.
today. I got to go on a workout here soon. I'm not looking forward to it. Um, uh, Matt, here's what I can do for your 13 Pro Max. If we can get it unlocked from T-Mobile, which will require you calling T-Mobile, I can buy it for 250 cash today.
Okay. I mean, I do like the idea of making it a little. Is that the best you could do on price?
How many gigabytes does it have?
128.
Yeah, so it's just the base model. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, my buyers have been pretty tough on the 13 since the 16 came out. Um,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
I could do the 250 today as long as you can get it unlocked from T-Mobile for me.
Yeah.
Um, because otherwise, if it's not unlocked from T-Mobile, it's like $100 offer.
Yeah. No, that's cool. Like what no, on my end, you said I need to call somebody.
Yeah, you just need to call T-Mobile customer service and tell them to unlock the phone.
Okay, I could probably make that work. I just need some cash today, so yeah, we could do
Yeah,
that.
awesome. Yeah, they should be able to unlock it within minutes. And then I can check it whenever we meet up. With that being said, I am meeting people at 12 and 5 today. Which time works best for you? I'll be at a Starbucks here in League City.
Oh, okay. Probably 5. I could swing by there after I get off work.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. I'll be there from about 5 to 5:45. I'll be the guy there with a gray hat on working on his computer probably.
Yeah.
Um, I have another appointment as well, but do you have any other electronics you might be looking to sell? I buy MacBooks, iPads, smartwatches, cameras, things like that.
Yeah. That's funny. Last night, as I was kind of winding down, I was just sitting there staring at a PS3 Slim I got sitting under my TV. It's just been sitting there collecting dust for like a year.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I mean, just bring it with you. I'll see what I can do.
Okay. Yeah, I'll bring it. I'll bring it in like the cords and stuff. And yeah,
Yeah,
if
perfect.
I could get a little more cash in my pocket, that'd be really helpful.
Yeah, of course. And if you see anything else around your house, just feel free to bring it, and I can make you an offer on the spot. All right. Remember, it's iPads, MacBooks, smartwatches, cameras, VR headsets, things like that. So,
Okay, you guys do a lot then.
yeah, I've expanded to buying quite a few things outside of phones. So,
Okay.
um,
Okay.
you know, because I know you guys always want more cash. So,
Yeah.
whenever you come, Matt, just make sure to just have the phone erased and stuff like that, and just bring a valid ID for the bill of sale, and that's it, man. Can't wait to earn your business.
Okay, so factory reset and yeah, I got my ID. That's easy.
Fantastic. I will see you in a little bit, and I will text you about an hour beforehand just to confirm. Okay.
All right, Chris, I'll see you in a little bit.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bam. That was like a 3 minute conversation, right?
Yeah,
Right. And you guys can use that, right? Like go to
straight
the
up.
transcript and grab that, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But that alone has helped me grow very quickly. And I also make more profit as well. Like I can get less leads and make more profit
Hmm.
because I'm able to just do so much in a smaller amount of time.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, and we're gonna be playing around with it. I've done this before, but we're gonna be doing this with Matt pretty soon. Uh, with reach outs on Marketplace where we get their phone number and just call them because I've noticed that works as well. Um, Especially once you've confirmed it, the offer and everything. I've had people Uber me after a phone call. Like I had a phone Ubered to me the other day because I did a phone call with a person. And this goes back to being a legitimate business. Like she found me on Google
Yeah.
through my Google My Business profile. And you know what she said on the phone? Like I wasn't able to get to her because she was like 20 miles away. Um, I was like, look, I could probably Uber the phone to you and pay you once it's delivered. And she was like, oh, that's fine. Yeah. I mean, I found you. I saw your reviews on Google, so I know you're good. And I'm like, sweet.
Um,
So
yeah, I think to the point that Chris is making and what he's discussing here is I can't overstate how important rapport is between a buyer and a seller. And I think that that is probably one of the things that feels like it's just sort of melting away in like in culture now is like the art of conversation and being able to have like a confident conversation that builds trust with people. And I'm not even talking about in business, guys. I'm talking about just in general. But like if you can make somebody feel comfortable as a business, how much more likely are you to get the price that you want, and how much more likely are they to sell you more stuff and become a regular customer? Like, I think, and generationally, I think, you feel like you talked about Dave, and like, I mean, I'm older than Chris, and so like, I I feel that vibe too, to some degree. Like, I don't know. I definitely feel the pull to, just want to text people because people love the anonymity of texting. But at the same time, once somebody actually like knows you and hears the warmth of your voice and that you sound like a decent, reasonable human, they're probably going to want to do business with you. I mean, come on, y'all.
Yeah, it's real. It's a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, calling people, it gives a different sense. Now, I know a lot of people are thinking, but Chris, I can't call people every day. I'm at work. I'm at, different things like that. I'm like, okay, no problem. Like if somebody calls you and you miss the call, just make sure to text them immediately. Just be like, hey, sorry, I'm doing something in the moment. I'm at work. Tell them you're at work. Like
Yeah.
that's okay. Like you can be honest with your customers. Trust me, it's okay. Um, like back in the day, whenever I was at the restaurant, like people would call me and I'd be like, "Hey, dude, sorry, I'm at my job. Um, but I will message you or call you right after I'm done." And they were like, "Oh, okay, cool."
Yeah.
Like people like a lot of these people don't even think that we like this is our real job.
Right. Yeah. Get a real job. Never heard that one before.
Yeah. I mean, and a lot of people have a stigma about that too. Like for example, if you go tell your parents that you're gonna start flipping phones and electronics full time and you're gonna stop your engineering job like Jarrett did, like but you just made like 10 grand in profit in February, like,
Yeah.
which one looks actually better,
Yeah.
numbers wise. It's
And
funny.
to those hearing that, the sweetest, hey, look what happened. Jared turned around. The first month he hit 10K and he took his family out for a big feast, which was
Sure
pretty
did.
pretty
Yeah,
freaking dope.
that was
It was
pretty
cool.
cool. Yeah.
It's very cool. Very cool. Yeah.
Or you can buy a Porsche, like
You're right.
guys a kid.
That is. And for the record, guys, this is the first Porsche buying reseller we've had. Like it's
Yeah, it
not
is. Yeah. Yeah.
right. We're not out here all out here like cruising in Lambos and Bentleys. Like I drive a Mazda. So there. Um
I drive a paid off minivan, so
hey,
I mean that's a win in my
yeah.
book. I don't have a car payment.
I
So
drive a paid off Mazda. There you go,
go.
guys.
See, like we live very like chill lives. You, we're family men. That's what we are. Like
Yeah.
we don't have the we don't well, later on maybe I'll get a nicer, fancier car, but at the moment, just
Oh
having
yeah.
having nicer and fancier things for the children is where it's at for the
That's
family.
right. Yeah.
Give them
After the
what they
kids get
want.
out of diapers, Chris will get the Hellcat Demon, and then you guys can
Exactly. Yeah,
can message each other and race.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Because at that point, the monthly revenue will be, that'll be 1 month, right? So,
That's right. That's right. Count
but
it.
yeah, guys. I mean, if you guys like, if you're listening to this podcast and you're driving around in your car and you're like, man, I wonder if I can do this full time. The answer is yes, you
Yeah.
can. It
Yeah.
is a real thing. Don't let, the matrix or society or whatever tell you that you can't do this full time because you can. You can. Okay? If you break it down mathematically and you buy $80 per device and your job pays you $15 an hour,
Hmm.
like, or you're making $80 in profit per device and you're
Yeah.
making $15 an hour at your job, do the math, right? Like, if the math works out, go for it, right?
Yep.
Now I'm not saying like quit your job because a lot of you guys need that job to fund
Yeah.
getting this thing started.
Not yet, at
Um,
least.
yeah. So, um, like for example, like Ken, like if you guys listen to Kendall Morris, he was on our podcast a few weeks back. Um, like he made a $12,000 profit net, and he still works 8:30 to 5 every day.
Yeah.
But he has a goal of saving up to $100,000. So like he's gonna be there within probably this year, pretty
Yeah.
easily.
That's a heck of a goal, by the way. Just
Yeah.
I mean, and achievable. And I think people go, oh man, 100 grand. But imagine he does that. Then he buys a house and then kickstarts the beginning of generational wealth for his family and posterity, when that becomes a factor.
Yeah.
Like just stuff like that is life-changing, folks. Really is.
I mean, if you break it down, like $100,000, and the way that you can do this is so here's my recommendation. If you're looking to go full time, what you should be doing first is number one, you need to pay off your debts. Like pay off your debts. Okay. At least those that can't be written off, right? And I'm gonna go full kind of Dave Ramsey here a little bit because a lot of resellers do not manage their money well, myself included in the past. Okay, I had to go through a lot of pain and a lot of suffering, money management wise, to actually start making good decisions. Um, and a lot of that actually took cutting out a lot, like
Mm.
and to kind of finalize that, I had to sell my car last year to kind of get my stuff in better order. Like my 2019 Dodge Charger that I loved had to go, because it was a big loan and it was costing me too much monthly that I could have used to keep building wealth. But the first thing you guys need to do if you plan on going full time, you need to pay off your debts first.
Yep.
Um, like I said, at least those that can't be written off on your taxes. Education can be written off on your taxes. Okay. Inventory can be written off on your taxes. Like things like Recelerator can be written off as education.
Yeah.
Um, and we make that very affordable for people that are really serious too. So,
Mhm.
um, that would be the first thing, and then you need to save up about 20K before you go full time. That's my recommendation. Like,
I like
or
that.
you need to be doing about 10K a month in profit. So, but because once you start dipping into that reselling money to pay your bills, well, now you don't have money to buy stuff, so it
Yep.
becomes a problem. I've run into that many times.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and then once you start hiring employees, like or contractors, like Matt is my a contractor of mine. I pay him, and that's got to come out of something. So, um, getting better at managing your stuff before you go full time is it's definitely one of the best ways to go.
Agreed. Yeah. The organization side of business, I think, is another thing that can't be like overstated to like how important it can be. Um, but I think mostly, guys, just be aware if you're not tracking stuff,
Yeah.
you just don't take yourself too serious because you're not serious. Like,
Another thing on the tracking side of things, like there's going to be people that doubt you, but if you have the data to back that up, it's hard to argue with data.
it's true.
Like like a good example of this, I remember whenever I was getting started for the second time in this business, um, my me and my dad went to a real estate conference um, because we were looking into possibly learning how to flip real estate, and it was like a $25,000 program at the end, and I was like, well, I don't have that, and I don't have any credit, so
Huh.
um, I was like, well, I have this like phone flip and electronics thing. I wonder if I could just do that instead. It's the same kind of model. And me and my dad were talking about it, and I told him that I made some money and I had a little bit of tracking going on. And he was
Yeah.
like, I'll give you 2 grand, just pay me, on top of that, what you make every month. Like it was 10% of whatever I made on top of the 2 grand until I paid the 2 grand back. I didn't do very well with it the first time. Like I ended up, I ended up in a worse situation because I didn't know what I was doing because I hadn't bought any information yet. Like I didn't have any mentors. I didn't have anybody to kind of bounce ideas off of or tell me not to do something. Um, which now it's completely different, right? Like back then, I just stepped in all the holes before I bought Dave's course, you know.
Right. Ready, fire, aim.
For real, yeah. Like I stepped in all the holes. I bought the iCloud locked phones. I refunded somebody on eBay before they sent it back. I stepped in all the holes. Like when I could have just had somebody that I could have asked be like, "Hey, is this okay to do?" And he could have just told me no. Wait till the phone gets back.
Yeah. And I mean, Chris brings up something really interesting because like of course we are both coaches. We both have courses. Chris has Recelerator, I have Console Kings. We both kind of collaborate between the two of them. And I think sometimes within the resale space, people are they're frugal, sometimes like very penny pinching, but like our courses are designed to help you guys navigate the landmines that essentially we all stepped on. Um, who
Yeah.
likes stepping on landmines, right? You ever watched a war movie? Not a lot of people, and it's funny because people come into this. What I think is fascinating, Chris, and talking again about amateur and pro, is some people will come into this course expect like with amateur like level thoughts of like worried, that people are going to take advantage of them and that they're going to lose
Yeah.
deals and that they can't make money as quickly as the way things have been designed and streamlined to help them become profitable I mean, within days, within like the day, if
Yeah.
they really want to take action. And, it's really cool to watch that mindset just shift so quickly to where it's like, oh, this is for real. It's like, well, yeah, like because we already stepped on all the landmines. Like we know, like, hey, don't step over there. You think we're gonna, tell you to go blow up where we, imploded some of our own income? No, of course. Why would we do that? Um, it's just funny how people will, jump in a course and then still be massively skeptical because like they've just kind of incubated their own thoughts with like this desperation and neediness and like uncertainty and like all that sort of stuff.
Well, I mean, I understand it. I mean,
I do, yeah, I do
there's
too.
a lot of like courses out there that they just take your money, never talk to you, you stuff like that. That's happened to a lot of people in this industry. I totally understand that. I remember I bought two phone flipping courses in the beginning after Dave. Um, and that's one reason I worked with Dave. He always talked to me. Like he was always open
Yeah,
to like answering my questions. And that's how I try to be with everybody. Even if they're not a client yet, I expect them to be later on, right? Um, but like I bought two other courses and boom, money sent, nothing ever like I didn't even get a password for one of them. Like that and I remember that feeling. I was like I don't have access and there's nobody to contact. This is a scam. Like when honestly they were probably just being lazy or didn't care. So
yeah,
um like the way that Recelerator is set up is not just a course. Like we're gonna hop on Zoom calls with you. We're gonna
yeah,
do like those specific things. We want to make sure that you're successful because your success breeds our success. We buy from our students. Like, do you think we're gonna sell you something and not talk to you and want to buy from you? That doesn't make sense. You know, like we
yeah.
want your business. Um, so like for those that are out there that are just like Chris is just trying to make money off courses, no, we buy from our students.
Sure,
So
sure.
um, I don't know what to tell you. So we show them how to not make the same mistakes that we did in the first place. We show them how to make $300 to $500 in profit their very first week.
Yep.
Like I mean, imagine you just put on some glasses and it just started showing you dollar signs almost immediately online. That's what we do.
Mhm.
Like we show you how to find stuff. We show you how to get the ad. I mean, I set the ads up for the people.
Yep.
It's me personally on a Zoom call, clicking for an hour and a half, setting your stuff up to make sure that you're successful.
Yep.
Because I mean, one of the guys, Bryce. I mean, I set his ads up yesterday. He got his first Facebook lead today. We want to buy that phone from him. Like, I want that phone to go to Aaron, right? Like, that's our goal.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we want to be different from people in the market, right?
Yeah.
And that is why we charge what we charge. So, like, we don't do a lot of discounts. We have the courses available in the description. Like, the you can just buy the courses if you want without the mentorship. You'll still get a call with me because I want to make sure you get access to stuff. Um, uh, and then on top of that, the mentorship program. The mentorship program is where all the success happens anyway. But um,
Yeah. Truly.
like every time I go into something, I remember whenever but some of you might know Laurel Portier. She's a big marketer in the space, in just the marketing space in general. I remember whenever I bought her $7 a month offer for marketing, I got in, I saw all the value, and I was like, oh, okay, I need to immediately upgrade to this other thing because I'm a guy who just I'd rather just pay for the person to tell me what to do specifically. Like
Mhm.
that's what I like, and that's how I move. A lot of you guys are like I get these messages all the time. It's like, Chris, how are you so consistent with things? Chris, how are you able to do all the like Spencer asked me this yesterday. He's like, how are you able to do so many things in a day, like the reselling, the marketing, the coaching, the all of this stuff? And I'm like, because I've paid people to show me how to spend my time.
Yeah.
That's how I do it. I've paid probably over $100,000 at this point for masterminds and courses and things like that. And a lot of these, like the time audit thing, I learned that from clients and community, how to audit your time and figure out where things need to go, right? So I don't know how we got onto that. I just started rambling. So, but Matt, do you have anything else to add to that? I just kind of went off.
No, I think it's totally fine. Yeah, so if time is the most valuable commodity, then I think at some point everybody has to think about, okay, how am I going to make more over a less amount of time? And skills is the way that you do that. And Chris, you've talked about this plenty. We've talked about this on the podcast before. But if you're not trying to, I think in some way, shape, or form, curb like your skill set to where you can do more better or do more faster. Like the thing is everybody can hustle. Everybody can work really hard, but that's not a sustainable way to be a pro and run your business. You have to think of how am I going to respect my time enough that I can simplify this to its most reduced form and optimize the amount that I'm getting for the amount of time that I'm putting in. Um, and that either takes the time to whittle away and by trial and error figure out what is the most essential, or you pay somebody who's already determined what is most essential, and they tell you because you trust their judgment and their expertise and experience. And um, I think a lot of people, I think a lot of people don't value their time enough because they look at stuff like a course as like an expense rather than an investment in themselves. Like me, I'm probably not going to be reselling till I'm like 60, you know? And as I like step into my 40s, people are like, yo, the dude's 40. Like, yeah, yeah, see a little of this gray hair? Yeah, I got some kids. But like, uh, do I want to be doing this forever? Probably not. I think I'd eventually like to take these skills and have a go at something else just for the fun of it, just for the challenge, right? Um, but for those of you that are listening to this and like you're young, no responsibilities, no kids, like disposable income, no kids, like, oh my gosh, are you like you're not going to have a more prime opportunity in your life
Really?
uh,
Yeah.
to just run at this like full tilt. And for those of you that are already tied down by those responsibilities, if there's a way that we can help you, like we would love to. I'm not trying to hard sell anybody. I'm simply saying like that resonates with me, guys. My wife was not working. I was a school teacher and I just needed to find another way to make a buck. And so what did I do? I started reselling, and that led to reselling consoles. And here we are, right? Here we are. So just to help you guys realize, like, Chris and I have like been there in whatever space you're in. But looking at 2025, I wonder if people that are listening to this, I can't help but think there's probably a few out there that are like asking themselves, like, what am I going to do differently? Because if you don't do anything differently this year than what you did last year, uh, sadly, things may not change the way you anticipate or want them to. So, take that step, invest in yourself in some way. I hope you do.
I have thoughts on this. Um, I think people talk about valuing their time a lot,
Yeah.
like, and that's kind of in the terms of I value my time. You're saying you value your off time, like when you're not working, right? Like that's what most people talk about whenever they say that, like subtly, right? because it's under the surface. They don't, whatever. But let's be real. How do you value your time when you're working? Like, I do things called power hours, right? Where I'll write down a whole bunch of things that I just need to get done, set a timer for an hour, and I will run through as many of them as possible. You guys ask how I get so much stuff done. That's one of the ways I get stuff done, is because I value the work time that I have available because that clock is going to run no matter what.
Yeah.
Like, it's running until the end of time, right? Um, and you only have a set amount of time here anyway, right? So it's like you might as well use it and use it effectively, right? So one of those ways that I like to use my time, I 2x every single video I can, by the way. Like if I
Yeah.
buy a course, I bought 3 courses last month. I was in a fast, I don't know. I wasn't eating, so I guess I just consumed courses instead. They kept me busy, I guess. Um, I watched all 3 courses on 2x, was able to learn certain things. I took notes. I put it in Chat GPT, and we actually implemented it into my process. So, and I say that because those things, and I also got this cool book actually. About one of the things was this book, and then I ended up buying nice actually the Black Book of Questions. Pretty cool. Um, and that's something I can now study and implement and use in my reselling business and things like that. Because I actually learned quite a few things from it. But the fact that I bought it and then I learned some things meant that I saved the amount of time that it was going to take to learn that on my own. Right? Like that's the way I view things. It's like, and I know some of you guys are just like, yeah, but I can't pay for information. Okay, that's fine. Go to my YouTube channel. I give everything away for free.
Hmm.
Like the main thing the Recelerator does is honestly just keep you accountable to what you said you were going to do.
Hmm.
That's what a lot of you guys need is
Hmm.
like you have all of the information at your disposal. We live in the most informative,
Yeah.
knowledgeable time on probably Earth ever. And
Oh, easy. Yes.
like, I mean, this thing right here gives you access to all of the knowledge that you need like that. And a lot of you guys just don't use it. And that, it's mind boggling to me. Like, I use Chat GPT as my assistant. Like, I need to know something. Siri, open Chat GPT. Just did it actually. and then,
That's hilarious.
and it's like look up blank, right? Uh, like if I'm in my car and I have a thought and I want to possibly look into something, that's what I do. I write notes all the time to come back to. I do things like that. Um,
Yeah.
I learned how to do that from another book and another course, actually, how to organize information better so I can find it later.
Yeah.
Massive skill, by the way.
Yeah.
I was actually talking with Matt. Uh, we're kind of updating our onboarding process yesterday, and I didn't realize that I had already made 2 videos that kind of go over everything that we can actually now scrap from Matt's call. I didn't realize that I just went over it already. Um, but that just goes to show that I already knew what I was doing. I just needed to be reminded that I knew what I did.
Right. That was a funny exchange between the two of us, by the way. You're like, oh yeah, I already noticed the need for this to get done and I already did it. I just forgot that I did.
That happens a lot to me, by the
The
way.
existential moment there for Chris Schroeder, which was pretty funny.
It happens that honestly, it happens way too often.
Yeah.
I have documents that I've built everywhere. From like, I remember watching one of my courses, like, because I was going to redo it. I think it was Recelerator 1.0. And I was rewatching it because I was looking at the videos that I needed to redo, and I was like, dang, I actually knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
So, oh man.
It's always reassuring as an
Yeah.
entrepreneur goes. But I
Yeah.
think I think what is interesting and revealing about what you're talking about is that there's a stream of consciousness that you are having, this internal dialogue with yourself, of course, about okay, like let me put this in my notes. I use Notepad on my laptop and I use my notes on my phone quite often. But between yourself, between Chat GPT, and quite honestly, probably the DMs between me and you, back and forth, is sort of this place where I'd say the two of us are constantly throwing a lot of spaghetti against the wall to see what sticks and find, what's valid and what isn't. And I don't know. For those people who live in like just this vacuum of headspace where there's no other voice there to reassure you that what you're doing is a good decision or not, it might be healthy just to kind of keep listening to the podcast if this is your first time, or if you're really looking for um, kind of a directing voice like that really is just what a lot of people need. A lot of people just need a coach. And I'm not saying that it's necessarily for like business because it could be for business, but it could be for a lot of things. How am I using my time wisely, right? How do I stay healthy? Like, how do I raise kids that give a crap and, are quality humans? Like all different types of things and challenges that people are presented with. And like information is so abundant. I think it's almost hard to decide like what's good and like what's all the BS, you know?
No, that's fair. Well, guys, I think that's probably a good place to end this. Felt kind of good. That was kind of cathartic to get a lot of that out. To help people out and be a little bit more aggressive with, telling people how to be more aggressive with your business to take it more seriously,
Yeah.
right?
Be a pro.
Um,
Be a pro, people. Be a pro.
yeah, be a pro. Like, be a pro phone flipper. Like, wear that with a badge of honor. You're making money. You're doing the stuff, right? But yeah, guys, this has been another episode of the Smart Flip. If you guys want the ebook, or you can listen to it on episode 11 of the podcast, or you can buy the PDF for $4.95 and get all the bonuses and stuff like that with it in the descriptions below. And if you are interested in, being held accountable to the goals that you have for yourself, look into Recelerator. There should be a link below for it. There's one for just the courses. Um, and then there's one for the full program where we help you directly and keep you accountable to honestly what you say that you're going to do. Um, then that's the main thing that we do. And we also want to just buy stuff from you. So,
Yeah.
um, but we will hold your feet to the fire on, if you say that you want to make $10,000 next month, we're going to put together a plan for you to do that, but it's your job to execute. It's your job to do those 2,000 reach outs it's going to take for that month, right? Like, it's going to take that $15 in ad spend and responding and following up with your leads. Like, if that's you, check out the stuff below. I go over it in a video in detail on how it works. Um, but with that being said, this has been another episode of the Smart Flip. Appreciate you guys listening in while you're out there picking up devices.
Hmm.
Um, and we will see you guys next week.